This little device here that I so awkwardly put on the table is my Volca Keys. I got it at half price because it can only work with batteries. The DC power connection isn't working. As you can see, there's 6 batteries. That's too many batteries. So we'll make this Volca wireful. We're just gonna connect the faulty adapter to the batteries. You know, that should work. Let's not just think about it too much. Let me just grab my screwdriver. Let me just pull this apart and see what's inside. And let's see, and whoa, it looks like a bunch of electronic components. So let's see. What we'll need to do is just connect the wires here, the red and black, the positive and negative. Instead of being connected to batteries, they'll be connected to the power plug. You know, so when it's taking power from the batteries, it will instead be charging from its Korg original adapter. I think the voltages are the same. I don't know if there's something missing. Just let me know in the comments. It would be funny if I'm doing something obviously like stupid. Anyway, let's just continue unscrewing the main board. Careful not to rip any wires or damage it. Just be careful, okay? Come on, you can do it. Just be very gentle here. Notice how I'm very, very gentle. Yeah, just remember to, take those caps off. Like I said, I'm being gentle like an old walrus is accidentally killing its young. Let's start by unplugging the keyboard part. There's this little connector here that you'll see I'll have a lot of trouble with. But finally, I just get a pair of tweezers and I just do it, man. I just take it apart. Of course, behind my large head, I don't want you to actually see it, you know. That was on purpose. Okay, so now we're left with the main board with all the knobs and this little guy, this little black connector here that we want. But to make it easier to work with, we'll unsolder or desolder or just melt the wires that connect to the batteries and the speaker. Take a mental note, an actual note, or a photo of how they look like because we'll resolder them back together the same way with this little guy, yeah. Or not, let's just go straight to the connection, let's ignore the wires, nothing bad could ever happen. Step 1, grab your connector but like really close to the metal and just start melting the solder away. You will soon get burned. Next, take a pair of tweezers and, you know, try to, you get burnt again, you. Try to use it as a mini lever with all sorts of weird hand positions so that when you melt the solder, you also pull it apart. You know, basically we need to pull it apart without damaging it. This would have probably been faster with a hot air gun, but you know, how do you say it next time? Hey, remember those wires that we ignored? Yeah, let's just break those apart. Yeah, let's just fix this later, okay? So, like I said, continue to burn yourself. Again, the most important part happens behind my big head and I got it out. Finally, now let's see exactly where we're gonna put it. First thing we're gonna do is cut the original battery wires and solder them to their place on the main board. The black wire where it says black and the red wire where it says red. It's that easy. Now, we just make sure that it fits snugly in, it's pushed back in, so that the only thing that we need to worry about is those 2 wires that we need to connect to the connector. As you can see, there's a little bit of space here where the original connector was. So we're gonna have to make a hole there and we're gonna have to cut it out. Yeah, just cut it out, man. I used a little saw to cut a square shape. I sanded it off, cleaned everything, and once I made sure that everything fits with the lid on, I soldered the battery wires to the actual connector. Now, to be honest, I didn't know which was positive and which was negative. I kind of just went for it and tested it out. As you can see, we have power here, but I broke one of the soldering points, but it works. So now let's just find a way to fit this in between the 2 boards, the main board and the upper board, and let's see if we can find a place to put the wires, you know, without interfering and obstructing other buttons and knobs. It took me a while, but this is what I have. It now fits perfectly and the lid can close. It looks horrible, but let me just drop some super glue on it and let it sit. It's been sat for a while. We can continue to test it out with the original Korg adapter, and as you can see, it slightly needs a little bit. Look, once we close everything in, it will, grow into it. One thing that I don't like is this hole that's been left behind. Luckily, I have just the thing that I've been saving up just for this specific moment. I can't believe that I'll actually be using something from an old bag of spare parts. It's this little thing. See what I mean? It's like perfect. Look how well that fits in. My big head again. Look how well that fits in again. It's perfect. Look, it's like it's from there. Let me just sprinkle some adhesive on it and we'll be on our way. Putting it all together, I can see how well it looks like. Not the hole that I cut out, but this little thing. So that is a sign that it's good to keep everything. You'll one day use it. So keep that little plastic thing. You'll want to use it. And we're basically done. Just put everything back the way it was. Put back all the screws. Make sure you didn't forget anything. And just jam out, man. Make some weird music with this. Of course, adding the absolutely amazing Volca beats makes everything better.